Hi, I'm Jeff Summitt, Technical Director for Hireko Golf. Today I want to show you one of the more common club making practices, and that's removing a graphite shaft from a club head. Now this is a little bit different from the previous video I showed of removing a steel shaft from a club head because a graphite shaft is made up of several layers of material, and all those layers are bound together by epoxy resins. So if you try to twist it, you're just going to damage the shaft. So you need a special tool called a graphite shaft puller. There's several on the market that are commercially available, but they do essentially the same thing. They securely clamp the shaft and either push or pull the head straight off. That's the key. So what I'm going to demonstrate here is I'm going to use my trusty propane torch. Now you may not be as adventurous and you may want to use a heat gun, and that's perfectly fine. Just remember, it's going to probably take you about 3 times longer because it's not as high a concentration of heat. Now I'm also going to demonstrate on this white head to show you that you could still do it with the torch and not discolor it if you're careful. And again, the key is to keep the heat moving and keep the heat to a minimum if possible. So I'm going to heat this up for about 20 seconds. Now if I can't pull it off in the first 20 seconds, I'm going to go back and hit it with 5 more seconds, retry until the club head comes off. And I'm going to leave the ferrule on again, and this is going to protect, one, in case I get a wayward, get a little wayward with the flame. I've got some the ferrule to protect the shaft for that small area. Plus, it's going to be easier to cut off in the next step. Okay. Now I'm going to cut the ferrule. When you cut the ferrule, make sure you do it along the back side of the shaft, or the hazel. That way if the knife ever slips, you're going to not put a crease in the top of the head or somewhere it's real visible. And just read the directions on your shaft puller, but again, clamp it down so it's nice and tight. See, this is coming off quite easily. Not all of them will come off this easy. Now that we've got it off, make sure you clean out any excess epoxy in the hazel with a brush or a sandpaper cone on a drill, and that'll make it easier when you go to put the next shaft in. And also take the time to remove any old epoxy, and also in the tip of the shaft you might see an epoxy core. You could take a small drill bit, drill that out, and then that way it'll be easier to reshaft. And that's basically it. Just take your time. These things are fairly expensive, but so are shafts today. You save one and you'll probably pay off for the tool in no time. And that's it.